After 21 years of marriage, I had started to go out with another woman. It was my wife's idea. "I know that you love her," she said one day, taking me by surprise. "But I love you," I protested. "I know, but you also love her." The other woman that my wife wanted me to visit was my mother, who had been a widow for 19 years. But the demands of my work and my 3 children had made it possible to visit her only occasionally. That night, I called to invite her to go out for dinner and a movie. "What's wrong? Are you all right? Is there any problem?" she had asked. I laughed. My mother is the type of woman who suspects that a late-night call or a surprise invitation is a sign of bad news. "I thought it would be pleasant to spend some time with you," I responded. "Just the 2 of us. Let's hang out, have dinner." She thought about it for a moment and then said, "I would like that very much." That Friday after work, as I drove over to pick her up, I was a bit nervous. When I arrived at her house, I noticed that she too seemed to be nervous about our date. She waited at the door with her coat on. She had curled her hair and was wearing the dress that she had worn to celebrate her last wedding anniversary. She smiled from a face that was as radiant as an angel's. "I told my friends that I was going to go out with my son, and they were impressed," she said as she got into the car. "They can't wait to hear about our night." We went to a restaurant that, although not elegant, was very nice and cozy. My mother took my arm as if she were the first lady. After we sat down, I had to read the menu to her. Her eyes could only read large prints. Halfway through the menu, I lifted my eyes and saw my mom sitting there and staring at me. A nostalgic smile was on her lips. "It was I who used to have to read the menu to you when you were small," she had said. "Then it's time for you to relax and let me return the favor," I responded and smiled. "The movie we were to watch." As we arrived at her house later, she said, "I'll go out with you again, but only if you let me invite you." I laughed and agreed. I pecked her cheek and drove home. "How was your dinner date?" asked my wife when I got home. "Very nice, actually. Much more so than I could have imagined," I answered. A few days later, my mother died of a massive heart attack. It happened so suddenly that I didn't have a chance to do anything for her. Sometime later, I received an envelope with a copy of a restaurant receipt from the same place Mother and I had dined. An attached note said, "I paid this bill in advance. I was almost sure that I couldn't be there, but nevertheless, I paid for 2 plates. One for you and the other for your wife. You will never know what that night meant to me. I love you." At that moment, I understood the importance of saying, "I love you," and giving our loved ones the time that they deserve. Nothing in life is more important than God and your family and friends. Give them the time they deserve, because these things cannot be put off till some other time. Someone once said, "I've learned that regardless of your relationship with your parents, you'll miss them when they're gone from your life." I think this is true with your in-laws, grandchildren, girlfriend, boyfriend, sisters, brothers, and your friends. Anyone that means something to you. You should spend time with them and let them know how much they mean to you as often as you can. Don't let issues or any reason at all prevent you from letting them know how you feel. Tell them, or rather show them, by spending time with them. Let them know how much you appreciate their presence in your life. Tell them you love them. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more from me.